Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back to the channel. I hope that you are having a great day out there. Hope you're feeling good and things are just, the sun is shining, I would say, in your face, but maybe not in your eyes, just like shining down on you. Well, or a little rain if you need a little refreshment or cooling down. Let's go ahead and listen to some Dan Fogelberg. We're going to be listening to this track, Leader of the Band. This is coming off of his 7th studio album, The Innocent Age, which was released in 1981. What an interesting album cover that is. I'm sorry, I just noticed it as I pulled it up here. That's an interesting album cover. I just want to pull it up for you guys to see. It's got a doll in front of a grave, and can I tell you, it's very from cradle to the grave kind of thing. What an interesting contrast there. Anyways, like I said, we're listening to this track. We're checking it out because it was suggested and sponsored by Michael Gray. Michael, thank you so much for the recommendation. Thank you for sending this one over. I appreciate the supports and the request. And I'm quite sure that others had also recommended this particular track. I'm pulling up your names right now because I'm pretty sure I saw some names. Alberto Ramirez, Steve Tournay, T. Canfield, Joel Liebler, Jerome Dukes, not Jerome, sorry. Sidecar Dog, you mentioned this one as well about 6 years ago. So thank you guys so much for the suggestion. What do you say we dive on into it? We'll discuss it, of course, a little bit after. There we go.
Only child alone and wild, a cabinet maker's son. His hands were meant for different work, and his heart was known to none. He left his home and went his lone and solitary way, and he gave to me a gift I know I never can repay.
Love that.
Quiet man of music, denied a simpler fate. He tried to be a soldier once, but his music wouldn't wait. He earned his love through discipline, a thundering velvet hand. His gentle means of sculpting souls took me years to understand. The leader of the band is tired and his eyes are growing old, but his blood runs through my instrument and his song is in my soul. My life has been a poor attempt to imitate the man. I'm just a living legacy to the leader of the band. Brothers' lives were different, for they heard another call. One went to Chicago, and the other to St. Paul.
It's a great book.
And I'm in Colorado when I'm not in some hotel, living out this life I've chose and come to know so well. Thank you for the music and your stories of the road. I thank you for the freedom when it came my time to go. I thank you for the kindness and the times when you got tough. And Papa, I don't think I said I love you near enough. The leader of the band is tired and his eyes are growing old, but his blood runs through my instrument and this song is in my soul. My life has been a poor attempt to imitate the man. I'm just a living legacy to the leader of the band. I am a living legacy to the leader of the band.
I love that there's a band involved here. Oh, true. A marching band, marching band. This is one of the songs where I gotta get a little more real. This is one of those. Okay, so before sending over this request, and I'm sure Michael doesn't mind if I say so. Michael did a very respectful thing and asked me if I was okay listening to this song because this was in tribute to Dan's father, and my father had passed 2 years ago now or so. And so which was just a very respectful move. I really appreciate that. And yeah, of course, I'm totally fine. And anyways, so I knew that going in. This is one of those. This is one of those videos where the wall between me doing a reaction channel, haha, and listening to music, and you guys, and the screen between us just begins to melt away a little bit. That wall begins to come down just a smidge. It's obviously a beautiful track and extremely touching ode to his father with fantastic lyrics. I don't know, I'm assuming, but I don't know, we'll look into it, that his dad was the leader of a band, or at least a musician of sorts. And if not, then the symbolism of calling his father the leader of the band, and I imagine the band being the family, the children, and raising them. I think that that's just such a cool, respectful way to honor your father and to write that. And of course, now that I have a son, I think of things a little bit different. And I can just imagine how Dan's dad felt when his son wrote this song. And being able to hear that. I think everyone's different, right? Everything's different, and everyone has a certain thing that touches them in a different way. If my son, obviously a little older, if my son wrote a song for me like this, I would feel like my life has been complete. I would feel that like I did it. Whatever my life's purpose is that I thought I've done, or I've done, and I've searched for, whatever it is, I would personally feel like that would complete me. I would feel like that would just like my purpose is accomplished. I'm good. I did it. If my child wrote a song like that for me, and I have to imagine that that's probably what Dan's dad felt and thought. Because I do see here that his father was alive when he wrote this track. I just think that's incredible. Can I tell you? I thought all my teenage to adult life, when I was actively making music, even though it wasn't always great, but I was trying. I always thought like it'd be really cool to write a song for each of my family members, or write something for each of my family members, and for the specific type of music that they liked. So my grandma liked reggae. My dad loved jazz. My mom, I guess like soul, R&B kind of stuff. And I always, and my brother rap. I wasn't going to do a rap song, but but I did think about that. Grim, like, oh, it would be really cool, like to make a song for each of them. Didn't get to really do that. I guess I could still do something for my mom, but I'm not making music. Anyways, we're getting off the path here, which honestly is probably a good thing. But I just think that that's incredible. I think that's really cool. I know I'm not even talking about the music much. The music is great. The guitar playing is fun, is relaxing and melancholic, but still so inspiring. The way the chorus rises up and the way that Dan sings along there is I feel something in my heart. The way that he sings it out, the way that the air pushes up in the music, I think is absolutely wonderful. I love how we have in the bookends of this track the marching band sounds here as well, and then we end with a march. I don't know. Perhaps his father, who I see was Lawrence Fogelberg, actually it does say a musician and leader of a band. I'm assuming a marching band of sorts, and that'd be really cool for his dad to hear. Like, wow, my son even wrote, parts of this in the style of music that I actually made. Like, I think that that's incredible. I think that's out of this world. Yeah, this was a fantastic track. Have me pausing. And I suppose obviously this track was always going to hit me a little harder. There's no doubt about that. But today, at the date of recording this, it's 7/17, July 17th. And on the 13th, just 4 days ago, was the anniversary of my father's death. And how real do you want to get? I suppose we can get a little real. I would say my brother and I always were very close to my mom and everything. So, but on that day, my mom was at Home Depot and she called us just like it was a regular call. She just had a question, but in the call, she started to sob and cry and stuff. And I I told her I was on the way. I texted my brother. We all live relatively close. I texted my brother, told him what was going on, and literally within like 10 or 15 minutes, this is gonna sound silly, and on some way it is, I suppose, but all three of us were in the Home Depot in one of the aisles, and my brother and I were just hugging my mom while she was crying. That that's it, That's it. Anyways, we're getting too real. Let's back it up, back it up, back it up. All right, part one, leader of the band. An only child, alone and wild, a cabinet maker's son. His hands were meant for different work, and his heart was known to none. He left his home and went his lone and solitary way, and he gave to me a gift I know I never could repay. I think that even if he wrote one verse and shared this with his father, man, I the pride that his dad must have felt, I can only imagine. A quiet man of music denied a simpler fate. He tried to be a soldier once, but his music couldn't or wouldn't wait. He earned his love through discipline, a thundering velvet hand. His gentle means of sculpting souls took me years to understand. These lyrics are beautiful, man. And acknowledging the different sacrifices that his father made, and that music was always the thing that was close to his heart. The leader of the band is tired and his eyes are growing old, but his blood run. That's when the dad says, "I may be getting older, but I can still chase you down." But his blood runs through my instrument, and his song is in my soul. My life has been a poor attempt to imitate the man. I'm just a living legacy to the leader of the band. Man. My brothers' lives were different, for they heard a different call, or another call. One to Chicago and the other to St. Paul. I'm in Colorado when I'm not in some motel, living out this life I've chosen and come to know so well. I thank you for the music and your stories of the road. I thank you for the freedom when it came my time to go. I thank you for the kindness and the times when you got tough. And Papa, I don't think I said I love you near enough. What a song, man. Obviously, like I said, it was written as a tribute to his father, Lawrence Fogelberg, a musician and leader of a band who was still alive when the song was released. Before his death in '82, he granted many media interviews because of the song. The single was released in '81, peaking at number 9 on the Hot 100. Became Fogelberg's second number 1 song as well, following his hit Longer. And it goes on from there. And many, many other versions here and covers as well. I am... this is a actually incredible song. It's beautiful. It hits. I'm sure I'm not the only one it hits for. And it's funny. There's still one song. I haven't listened to this song since my dad's passing. There's one song I have not listened to that I mean I've never like listened to it a lot anyway. It's not like it was on my regular playlist, but like I don't know if I can listen to it. I don't know if I can listen to what's the actual title? Dance with My Father Again, from Luther Vandross. I don't know if I could listen to that one. Dance with My Father. Yeah. Yeah, Luther Vandross. Yep, not going near it. Not touching that one. But this one we touch. Let me know what you guys thought. Of course, in the comments down below. Thank you all so much for being here. Thank you for listening. Thank you for joining me here, for just being. I appreciate it. Michael, thank you so much for the recommendation and for the request. And I hope you guys enjoy the rest of your day. Thank you again, and I will see you next time. Bye.